And I'm Lisa.
And this is the Paid Media Playbook, where we talk to marketing professionals about their challenges, tactics, and triumphs.
Join us here at Double Z Media for weekly conversations about media strategies for marketing leaders. Well, Laura, we sure are smack dab in the middle of the holiday craziness, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, this is like the earliest it's ever started, but mid-October.
At this point, I assume most people have their holiday campaigns strategized and placed, hopefully. We're recording this in the last couple days of November. There's not a lot of time left.
No, there's not. That's not to say that people aren't they're just changing messaging based on trends, but yeah, you're right. They better have it booked, whether it be traditional media or digital, as far as not programmatic necessarily, but I know that streaming radio and that sort of thing, anything we have to go direct with, it can sell out. And then you end up being in weird remnant space.
And everyone's trying to do stuff right now. It's going to be hard to get last minute things switched out if everyone's trying to do it at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So while all of our clients are in the middle of this very high stress crunch time, I love to start asking them about next month because that's exactly what they want to talk about.
I know, exactly. I want to, because we do need to think about first quarter. And it's nice to have, not to come back from the holidays and be like, there's nothing going on. Why isn't there anything going on? So we kind of have to force the client to think about it. But it is, there's plenty of reasons why they should and why it's beneficial to think about it, depending on what market they're in. You and I, we have some events coming up at the end of January and the beginning of February. So we have to spend money in January. And surprisingly, people do spend in January, even more so in some cases than December, which is surprising to most people.
Yeah, I've always thought of it as the lull, right? Everything's going nuts in December, and then December 27th through January 10th, everyone just wants to hibernate. But that's not actually true, is it?
No, I was reading that, I think it was Smithsonian or Experian, and they were saying that people, especially, obviously, I could speak for myself, how much money I spend on organic produce and grass-fed beef and all the things that I'm going to get back into because it's the first of the year and I'm on a health kick. I mean, health subscriptions online, the latest, coolest thing that you're like, oh, for $29 a month, I can get, this gym memberships online. And, it just, those sorts of things take off. Health, anything basically you're spending on yourself kind of tends to go up. And yet from cost, because everybody feels like they have to be on in December, in retail particularly, that if you're not a retail client and you don't have an event or something, it's you should probably think of a less than typical strategy, because you are competing and paying more in December for that inventory that you would normally buy. And you're more likely to get bumped out, and you're just in it's very crowded versus basically the day after Christmas. And any traditional media buyer would know this, but for example, car dealers just go crazy the day after Christmas and they take advantage of all the freebies. And I remember it was a third less money to buy in after Christmas and then in January because of the because there's just nobody thinks anybody's buying anything. And so the people that are doing things like car dealers, where they have the new vehicles coming out and they have the end of year sales and and anything you can spend money on for yourself, like a car or furniture or things like that, or health, any kind of health related. Yeah, definitely get out there in January, which you probably already know. But
so if you're selling a gift, obviously you want to be on in December, right? It's that big push. But almost anything else late December, early January is going to be more efficient and almost more effective just because you're not trying to shout over everybody else.
Exactly. And, so much more of a chance to get bonus and added value, promotions. I mean, there's just less going on. So you can get more of the lion's share from, most traditional media. And even, if you're dealing with direct buys even, and you're going like directly to a publisher, then you're, going to have more of a chance of doing more creative things. And, the vendors are hungry. So they, they're wheeling and dealing in January, whereas December, it was like, I can't even talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's pretty similar, I would say, with digital, not from a negotiation standpoint, but because everyone is bidding on impressions in December, the bids get really, really high. Just especially like the 2 weeks before Christmas, right? That's when everyone is desperate for people to hear about them.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just drops out, I would say, by like a quarter or more right after the holiday. Just because there's so much inventory available and not everyone is desperate to buy it up before everyone else.
Yeah.
I also think creative tends to get really nutso in December. It's when everyone like goes all out and does the crazy attention grabbing thing. And so it's almost an arms race of who can have the brightest, loudest advertisement so that people actually hear it and remember it.
Right. National advertisers go crazy. There's a lot more, football's ramping up. Hockey here is ramping up now. And it's just, you've got a lot of eyeballs and you've got a lot of awesome national ads that if you're a, regional client, you have to compete with all of that. And it's, it's just hard to make those Madison Avenue style ads for, a local or I should say, even a regional budget.
Yeah. My family has been watching a ton of football on streaming TV because it's fantasy football season. And of course, at my house, all of our streaming TV ads are working from home equipment and weird self-publishing scams.
Oh, really?
And
yeah,
it was so funny hearing my mom say like, why are they buying this in football? And I was like, no, Mom, they're buying me.
Exactly.
This is my TV.
That's awesome. I know. It's when, older folks, I should say, people that are non-digital and slightly, might be grew up on television and are used to watching, frankly, cable. And so they are still turning on their cable box and, well, frankly, they're getting targeted specifically too, but not in the same way that you can pinpoint. But like if I watch CNN, for example, and it's like all day, I'm going to see all kinds of like senior housing. And, I'm 51, so I don't think I'm going into senior housing yet, but I'm getting a lot of that. Whereas that doesn't follow me around anywhere digitally, except, it doesn't, except for those damn AARP freaking mailers, which really get on my nerves.
Direct mail is such a strange one. Especially right now when you're getting every single coupon and every single ad in your mailbox every day. I don't know. Do people read those? I don't think they even come into our house. We just put them straight in recycling.
I look at them, but then yeah. And I look at them more as I do look at marketing pieces just because I'm in marketing, but it's, it
that
does make me, I know, but also I think about like, what benefit is this AARP? Because they're like, oh, you get a free like car care kit that goes in the back of your car just to be safe. Or, I mean, they don't, they're things that older folk would like.
Yeah. But there's just so much noise. You're getting direct mail every day. You're seeing, 1,000 ads in every football match. You're seeing, YouTube is going crazy, just with all of the ad placements, just everything everywhere, so much noise. And you're going to get lost. It's so easy to get lost. Even if you have the right ad for the right person, they could just be exhausted mid-December.
Yeah, I think that ad fatigue, regardless of whether or not you've seen a really cool ad before, you're just kind of, it's like you're in Las Vegas or something, you know, you just kind of tune out all the neon after a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
And who's going to go out and buy, I don't know, a new washing machine right before they're hosting Christmas dinner? That's
totally.
That's a January purchase, right?
Yep. And it's amazing. I think that's probably why the price is so much, the amount that people are buying is so much more. Is you're buying some of these high ticket items like cars and carpet and things that you held off on because you were like, I'm so done. You know, this is the last holiday that we're not going to have a ductless heat pump in our house. Dang it.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking the bandwidth, right? If you're trying to, get to all of the Christmas parties and do the shopping and,
absolutely.
plan everything, who has time to compare different appliances?
True.
No, that's a whole different chore for tomorrow.
Right. And it's hard to not, when you think about it, when things start to get like weather gets bad or when you're able to think about it, you're right. It's past the point that one, you're going to get a contractor over at your house to fix it. Or two, yes, you could do a spur of the moment car buy, but you're right. I don't have the bandwidth. Nobody has the bandwidth this time of year to do that research. And plus it almost feels like, with the holidays, you're already spending so much money on just the people around you that you're like, that just feels weird to spend a high ticket item on yourself. Wait till the day after Christmas. Then it feels a lot better.
There you go. So basically, if you have like a very holiday specific message, obviously you'll be on in December leading up to Christmas. But if it's not time sensitive, you'll get so much more bang for your buck if you wait until late December, early January.
It's true. So it's, I understand Apple. I understand like everybody wanting the new cell phone and competing with each other, because they want the iPhone Pro Max 15, i.e. my daughter. So, I understand Apple commercials everywhere. There's a lot that, like you said, events, specific retail gifts, I get it, but other things that could wait, yeah.
Any awareness messaging that's not time specific?
For sure.
Like, definitely wait until after. You can just get so much more. People will actually pay attention.
Yeah, stop advertising like the first week of December, in my opinion. I mean, even earlier, but like if you're just looking for traffic in your store or whatever, and you need, you don't want to stop I understand not stopping altogether, because I do understand that philosophy of like, maybe just trickling the faucet versus shutting it off, but to have some sort of consistent presence, but don't blow it in fourth quarter when you could get so much more in January. I agree.
That sound like a good place to wrap?
Yes.
Thanks for listening to the Paid Media Playbook. Want more content like this? Follow our agency, Double Z Media, on LinkedIn. You can find the link in the episode description.